People are like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, we're going to get into it. We got a hot one today, man.
This is
Ooh,
we just got off the phone with a client, man, and then they were confirming some information with us that was just completely false.
Yes,
so man, it's
very false.
It's tough to hear. It's tough to hear because we're on here bringing you the truth, no matter how hot it is. Right? We're bringing you the truth. Nobody's trying to sell you anything that you don't need. But it just sucks to hear that you know there are people in our profession that may not have that same
integrity.
Yeah. So
just so you know, guys, you just got to be careful who you talk to, even if it's for professionals in the business. Always get second, third, fourth, fifth opinions. But also be careful who you get the opinion from. Everyone may say something. There's only some truths in some things, because a lot of things these clients who just called were completely false by friends, family. Even an agent had told them and misled them and gave them false information, which was completely just wrong, you know. So again, that's all very important. But we're here today to give you the full reality. We're to update you, keep you guys in tune on what's happening, the real of what's happening in real estate market. Here, Fresno, Clovis, Madera, and nationwide. We're here to give you the what's really happening. So, market update, man. What's the date today? 7/26. 26 of July.
I don't even know anymore, bro. I just wake up, close deals, help families, and go back to sleep.
Oh, man, you're living the life, man. If it was only that easy. Right?
I know, right?
Well, what's a big day today? Big day 26, right? A lot happened. We had a Fed talk, Fed increase.
There was potential for a lot to happen. You know, so to jump right into this market update, we'll start with the lending side today. We'll move over to you guys after. So on the lending side, we had the Fed's talk, right? The Feds come out and give an idea of what they think the direction of their monetary policy was going to go. You know, are we going to continue to increase the interest rate hikes, right? Are we going to go and be hawkish and say that we need to attack inflation more, or are we going to do the opposite and say that, you know what, I think we're good, leave it where we're at, or something we haven't heard in a while is to decrease the pull back a little bit, and maybe lower the interest rate, the federal fund rate. You know, maybe we have that. So today was the day where they all get together, they give their general consensus, they give their idea of whether we're doing increase, decrease, or staying flat, and then the Fed chief Jerome Powell gets on and he does his one-on-one with the microphone. Typically, that's where we see a lot of the verbiage and the mindset into the group as a whole come through one person, and that is the chief, Jerome Powell. He's the one that's going to give us an idea of what the sentiment is in that room when they're deciding for future and for today, right? What the decision they made today, he will justify it, and then their guidance going forward, he will give us some clarity on what they're thinking in the war room, right? So today we had the Fed state that they need to increase the Fed terminal rate by 0.25%, bringing us up to 5.5, meaning that the cost of capital is going up, right? Now, this is something that was expected. I think majority of experts expected this, you know, so the interest rates are not directly correlated to the Fed rate. But sometimes, you know, we see something so drastic or something so unexpected that it does affect it almost immediately.
Correct.
That was not the case today. We were expecting a 25 basis point increase. That is what we got. Nothing more, nothing less. It was already baked in. There was literally no change. Yeah. There was no. Matter of fact, it was slightly better knowing that what we were expecting happened.
Right.
Almost like a sense of calmness.
Sure.
You know. So we did not see huge spikes in the interest rates. We did not see huge drops in the interest rates. We saw some flatness, a little bit of decline.
Okay. Actually, a little decline.
Yeah. So we're really just stagnant. We're really just in this place which I believe we need to be. You know, and by this place I mean we're still hovering 6.875 to 7.25. You know, we're still hovering there. When it comes to mortgage interest rates, you know, so the cost for capital is still higher than you know people 2-3 years ago who were borrowing at 3%. Yeah, you know, so it's still higher.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not getting worse. Gotcha. You know, inflation numbers are coming down, and that's actually something that he talked about. He did say that from here on out, these decisions were going to be made meeting by meeting, meaning that he's not setting up further increases ahead of time, and they have done that in the past year they said, "Oh no, we're going to be doing 3 more." They've made those comments,
and they stuck with it.
right? And they stuck with it. So they've made those comments in the past, and they have stuck with it for the most part. So we did not get those today. We got a comment from him, a couple comments. One of them being, we are going to make these decisions meeting by meeting. These decisions are going to be based on data driven. So whatever the market is telling us, that's what we're going to follow, which is fantastic to hear, because the data is showing that inflation is coming down. So there is no more need to make it more expensive. Just let it do its job. So it kind of does seem like they're not getting overly aggressive. An easy way to examine and kind of get your eye on what exactly they're doing here is, if let's say you have a lawn and it's dead, right? And you want to water it to bring it back to life, and you see that it's dying. So you go to the hose and you just turn it on full blast, right? And you just let all the water run in there, and then you start to see it over flooding. Now you're flooding it, you're making mud, it's carrying over. That's too much. So you dial it back.
Right.
Well, if you dial it back so much to where there's no water, it's just drip, 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 it's going to die again. Yeah. So what they're trying to do is figure out how to get inflation back to a normal rate. So if you go over, and they realize it. Another comment he made was that we want to get back to 2%, but we understand that if we go overboard now, we could mess that up. So leave it alone. Sure. Let us naturally get back to 2% interest inflation, and let it do its course, or go its course to get back to where we need it to be. So I think that it was a positive one. Kind of like I said on the last one, I don't think we're going to have any effect. We did not have any effect.
Well, that's good to know. Good to know. And keep in mind, guys, again, the Fed rate, and again, everyone sees this on the news, and they a lot of times associate, oh man, they raised the rate, and everyone naturally assumes they increased home rates, right? Housing rates, or mortgage rates, I should say, which is completely false. They are not directly connected.
Correct.
But they are loosely influenced off of each other. But it's great. Headline inflation, we are at 3% right now, so we're not too far from the 2% goal the Fed is looking to get.
Yeah,
everything's been coming in. Keep in and a lot of the data too, it's still coming in late, like lagging data. Housing data should be coming in soon, so that's going to probably put pressure down a little bit.
Right.
So there's just a couple factors. So I think we're doing good. Again, I think. So now the question is this: since they did increase today, a quarter point, they do pause next month. So there's no meeting next month. They'll be in Jackson Hole. Then the Fed will meet again in September. Honestly, I don't believe they're going to increase any more this year. I don't see an increase coming unless something drastically happens to where. Some stimulus, comes out. The government, passes a bill
new data,
funding. Maybe giving funds for people, for first-time buyers. There's some programs out there. That might be a little bit inflationary, giving more people money to increase more demand.
Right.
More demand equals higher prices. So that could be something. But I think now that they did increase today, I feel they're gonna decrease sometime. I would say probably by next spring, possibly. Okay. They might cut. But we just have to see how it goes, right? Play it out.
They might realize by then that they've overwatered, and they can bring it back down a bit.
Banks are already suffered, right? We saw what happened to was Silicon Valley and the banks that just
Right.
So that does affect. The higher the rates does affect some of these regional banks. Hopefully, there's no more pain there, especially with this new hike, but we'll just have to see, see how it goes. But yeah, man. Well, hey, on to median home prices, guys. This week of the 26th, Fresno. We'll start with Fresno, California. Median home price. We're sitting here, guys, 4,499. Okay. 449,900. Not bad.
No.
The prices are still holding on good, regardless of what rates are doing. There's still a good amount of demand. Sellers, homeowners. We need more homes on the market.
Right.
And there are some strategies that might work and may not. Now waiting. Some homeowners are saying, I'm just going to wait. Right now, honestly, you guys will get the top dollar for your home. Just so you guys know, if no one's not aware, they're listing your house today within the median price, and it's nice. You're going to get top dollar because it's still strong demand. Waiting could be. It just depends. We never know what's going to happen in future. Right now, market's good. That's all we can go off of is what we see today. Let's go last year. Last year, guys, at this time, median home prices, list prices in Fresno was 425. So today's 4499. Last year at this time, 425. So yeah, we are definitely up year on year. Positive. We're looking good here.
You know what I just saw too? On that note, I just saw that the national average for appreciation was flat. It was like
year on year. Correct.
Right.
Yeah,
we're
a little
negative
bit
0.4 or something. It was pretty much flat.
Yeah.
So we're above. Actually,
yeah,
here in Fresno, we're above.
We're above. And again, it's going to be market to market. Majority of markets are up at least 1% or so higher, 0.5% or so. There are some markets, I know for sure Austin,
Texas.
Yeah, Austin got hit pretty bad. Just because, and the ones that are hit bad is just because they went up so fast.
They shot up. Right.
We're talking, 50%, 50% appreciation in the last few years, which is crazy. That's just not normal. So those markets that really shot up with so much demand and prices, they're going to be the hit, they're going to feel it. Even though they're coming down and it's slower, even if you bought in 2020, you're looking good. If you bought in 21, absolutely. You're looking good. Early 22, you're looking good. So it's always been a good. So what have we learned, right? You get all these people out here say, "Oh, it's not a good time to buy." However, the last time I really know it wasn't a good time to buy was probably like 2007, 8. If you really think about it,
I mean,
when was the last?
For who?
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
And depending on what,
if you were cash heavy, that was a fantastic time to buy.
Well, there you go.
You know what I mean?
So it's exactly. But the average buyer, because it's so weird. I just thought about it right now. Like you get all these headlines, or you got these articles, you got people preaching. It's not a good time. I don't know where that comes from. Because if you really sit back and think, when wasn't it a good time? When was the last time it wasn't a good time?
There's always an opportunity.
There was never. I don't. It's just so weird. Like even the last. Easily within the last 12, 13 years,
right?
It's not been a bad time. So, guys, if you're looking to buy, just if it's right for you, it's right for you. At the end of the day, if you can afford it and the payments look good and you got the down payment, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So that's what we got. Fresno, back to Fresno. Median days on market, man. We're right. This shows how fast demand is. 21 days.
Oh, I was gonna say 18. 21.
21 days. Median days on market, guys. So basically. The middle number about how long houses are staying on the market before they are in escrow, basically no longer available. So they're on the market for about 21 days before they're gone on median wise. So that's very quick, less than a month. They're not hanging around long, around the median price range, guys. Let's see, median rent here, Fresno, $23.95, looking around $2,400. So. Pretty elevated. Let me shoot over to Clovis really quick, and then we'll get back into it. So right now, median list price in Clovis is $599. So we're still. I think it was $599 last week as well. So I think it stayed flat. Last year, guys, around this time in Clovis, the median list price was $575. So $599, $575. We're up. They're up as well. So not bad. Median days on market in Clovis, California. We are looking at, take a guess. Median days on market in Clovis.
I'm going to go above Fresno because that's a higher price point. I'm going to go 23.
Gotcha. It is higher. You're right by going up, but it's actually 28.
28.
So still less than a month. Still virtually fast still, guys. Around the median price is still moving very quick. So yeah, it's so interesting. If you see the house you love, buyers, you got to still be at the house, see the home at least within 3 or 4 days, because there's a good chance it might not be available within a week. So still virtually moving quickly, even in the higher interest rate. So, we are, pretty much, I heard we are at all-time lows as far as affordability. It's the least affordable it's been. But looking at the market, it doesn't really say that. It doesn't show that, right? We still got lots of demand, even around 7%. What do you think attributes to that? What is your thoughts on that?
I'm going to be completely honest. When I review a lot of files here from first-time home buyers, majority of them qualify for those payments. They just don't want them, right? They prefer not to pay. They prefer $2,200 a month. Right? They prefer $2,300 a month. But can they afford?
Quick question. This is very important. A lot of buyers may know. We need to know this. I want to know this. I don't know if it's on the spot, so I don't know if you don't have this answer. But on average, what does a person need to make, maybe hourly, annually to
Impossible.
afford that like $400,000 payment in this
Impossible.
market.
Assuming they're debt free, assuming they got debts, because all of that plays a factor.
Okay.
You know, because if somebody makes, and that's the crazy part, because I'll just say this right now, I just closed a home purchase for a family. They're a young couple. They're expecting soon. The wife is a McDonald's general manager, and the husband is a sheet metal worker. Okay. Together, they make about just under $100 a year, and they closed on a home in Porterville.
What was that price at?
That was at a $275,000 price point, and they had room to go higher. They just bought that because that's where they wanted.
Good for them.
It was good for them. It worked for them, right? We're talking about a McDonald's employee, sheet metal worker. We're, labor,
so there's hope for everyone. It's hope for everyone. You just got to know your situation.
Individuals who make more than that and cannot afford it. So it's really an impossible question to answer. And the reason is they make more, they spend more.
Right.
True. This couple was preparing for life. They're preparing for a young one. They understand what needs to be done.
So debt plays a big part. Like
absolutely,
that plays a huge part. If you if you're still paying a lot of bills off, you got that fancy car, and things like you're doing a lot with your money already.
You're buying the wrong shit is what you're doing. You're buying liabilities instead of assets.
That's it.
And I'll never say that to their face. I'll give them a plan and a goal. Like, okay, look, we're a little high on our debts compared to income.
I think you're doing them a disjustice. You need to tell them straight up, man.
You
guys are buying a bunch of crap right now. If you want to get serious in home ownership, you gotta buckle down. You gotta
the people I know, I tell them that way. I'm like, why'd you buy this shit? But the people I don't know, I said, well, this liability right here is creating a strain on our buying power.
Sure,
is how But what I'm saying is, what you bought this shit and now it's hurting you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So to answer that question. Impossible. I mean, I got a couple making less than one person is making on their own, and they can afford it, and the one person cannot. They're making the same amount of money. They just don't. But the thing is so
interesting, and it's kind of known, but it's not always common. But financial literacy is just not common knowledge. The average person just not even thinking like that. Like, oh, I make this much. I should be able to buy this.
What do you mean I'm not good?
Right.
Well, the Corvette parked in the garage that you hardly ever drive is the reason you're not good.
Right. So again, it's never too early to seek out, a financial planner, a lender, someone that way can help guide you, and kind of at least explain the whole income and expenses and things like that, and debt, how that works. You don't want to get over leveraged, things like that, because it's just not common. We don't learn it in school.
And that's the reason why I don't attack those situations like that.
We don't
like when I look at something, it's very easy for me to judge. But honestly, somebody may not know. They may have never been taught that. So that's the reason why I'm not straightforward. Sure. Unless I know their life. I've known them since kindergarten, and I know that they've been taught this, and I know they just messed up.
Yeah.
Then I'm telling them, listen, homie, you messed up. Yeah. But if I don't know them, I don't never attack it that way, because I don't know what they don't know.
Right.
So once I educate them and I see the light bulbs go off, like we were talking about off record, that is honestly one of the biggest whys for why I do what I do, is because the ones that you help, yes, you help them buy their first home, and they love the home, and they're so happy to be homeowners, and they start the next chapter of their life. It's great. The ones who are using the equity in their homes to reach new levels of net worth, new levels of financial freedom, buy another property and have a rental. They never ever thought that they'd own two homes because they're the first one in their family to ever own a home.
Right.
Now they got two of them, or they have the opportunity to get two of them. Those are the ones that I love helping. I love helping planning that strategy investment to grow to another level.
Yes.
And I always lead with, hey, you're gonna hit that next level, and then be prepared to suck again. Okay, because every time you level up, you're going to suck again.
Right.
Okay, when you have two, you move out of your primary, you buy another one, you make that one a rental. You've now become a landlord and an investor. For the first time, and you're going to suck at being a landlord.
But it goes back to anything that you get successful in. It requires you to stretch out your comfort zone. You got to stretch it. You got to do.
You're going to suck, and then once you become comfortable again, you level up, and guess what? Now you own 3 homes, and you suck again.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. You have to be prepared for that.
You have to be uncomfortable to get to your goals. So you guys want to be, well off, wealthy with, multi-million dollars or whatever you want. You just got to understand. You got to get uncomfortable in the situations you don't like doing. But once you're in there, with time, you'll learn to enjoy it, and you'll get so good at it to where it's no big deal. Now it's time to level up again. Go to some new territory.
Go suck.
Yeah,
Go suck
exactly.
Again. Go suck again.
And I think
Now
that
you're in the
kind
right
of plays
spot.
back to the last quote I had said. Basically, you got to lose before you reach success, or something to that extent.
You did.
You have
Yeah.
to lose to win. That's just pretty much. That's
What'd you say? You
this-
said
what did I
if
say?
you're not prepared to fail, you're not prepared to succeed.
That was paraphrasing, but I think
Something like that? Was that something like that?
It's pretty much along those lines, to be
Right.
honest. Yeah. Let me get the quote, because that's
No,
just,
I like
it's
that.
gonna
I
bother-
like that.
But it's so true, because
It
you
is.
know, yeah, you got to lose before you get better. Or only way to win is to lose first, because everything you venture off to, you're not gonna be good, right? You got to learn how to stay with it, practice it, get better, become a professional in it, become, the best at an expert in that, and
Right.
then you can move on to the next one. So
Right.
that's it, guys. And it's all worth it. At the end of the day, it sucks while you're in it, but it's so worth it once you get past it to the next level. But yeah, man, that goes to like we were talking too. Yeah, just it's so interesting with business. Like you said, as far as clients, and we always appreciate. I see why, especially in my situation, how we appreciate, the thank yous and those that we really feel that we helped, even though we've helped a lot of people, right? But that, the one or two people, the ones that show their appreciation, makes us feel like this is what it's all about, because not every client, and it's totally fine, right? Not every person you help, even though you might have bent over backwards, went way out your way to help them get their goal. Not everyone is appreciative the same way. Some people, may feel like, they're obligated, like, okay, yeah, you did that. You're supposed to do that. And, whatever. Cool.
Right.
I'm glad I was able to help you. But the ones that really, had these clients, I just helped them buy their first home, and it just really touched my heart, and it really reminded me, like, man, this is why I do this, and that gives me the fuel to keep going and want to do more. Because again, we don't hear it that often, and when you do, it's a blessing. It's like, oh man, we really appreciate it. So making the process as easy as possible, just the whole red card, everything, right? Doing everything they should. just to stay in business in general, not even crazy success, just to stay in business, to put food on the table. It's a lot of day-to-day things that we'll get into that you have to do and be committed to. A lot of daily boring, mundane things that you just do, but it's something you have to do and stay with and stay consistent at if you want to reach any success. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes to get there. You know,
it is,
that we put in, but it's cool though. You know, it's all good. You know, at the end of the day, I feel good as long as I've helped someone accomplish their goal. We've done it, minimal pitfalls, minimal issues. It just went smooth as we could. That's it. I mean, I'm happy. Yeah. But it does help if you hear it a little bit here.
Oh, yeah, it helps. It helps.
Because then you're like, okay,
it helps. Especially really, compared to my last job, there was no, hey, thanks for placing me in handcuffs. Yeah, there's no, hey, thanks for slamming me on the floor, and stopping me from assaulting somebody. You know, there was no thanks for that. You know,
honestly, if people received more appreciation what they did, imagine how better people would be, and just in general, I think people will be a little bit more happier, a little bit more, I think it'll do a lot more for people in general, no matter what job you're doing, because when you're at your job, how many times do you hear, oh man, great job, you're doing good, right, keep it up? Like that does something to people, right? It gives them motivation, it boosts their confidence. I mean, why isn't that a thing in every job? No matter what you do, there should be a policy or something in place to where the people are feeling appreciative, like they're being appreciated, especially if they're doing great. You know what I mean? Like there should be something like that to increase that morale. It makes you want to it makes you want to do more.
Dude, that starts from the top.
It does.
That starts from the top.
I mean,
that's not going to happen at the ground level. Ones that
100%. But that's the thing. That's the point. Why isn't it more?
We just got terrible leaders.
More CEOs, more business owners, more
that's where it starts,
bosses. That definitely. I mean, at least me and my business, I show gratefulness with everyone. I was just talking to one of my assistants this morning, and I mean, I was just praising her because she's doing great. I'm sure she hasn't heard that many times, but I was like, man, you're awesome. You're doing great. Like, I mean, you wanna keep that going, right? You want to give them confidence. You want to show them that you really see that they're doing something good, because it's gonna make them do better. Actually, it's going to make them produce more, make them want to push harder, because they're like, oh man, yeah. And it actually is going to put maybe even a little bit more pressure on the employees, because now it's like, oh, I got to live up to this. I got, the boss was saying I'm doing a great job. I got to live up to this name. I got to keep going and maybe even doing better. But if you don't hear that, what happens? The complete opposite. It lowers your morale. It makes you like, who cares? No one. I'm tired of this job. No one cares what I do. I'm just here. But yeah, appreciation, kindness, just showing that it goes so far.
Yeah. Those are all leadership traits, and that trickles down, man.
100%.
If you're in a place where, and I'm excited too, because I'm before the end of this year, I'm hiring. I'm going to hire one on. So
yeah, you were just talking. You're looking at offices over here.
Keep an eye open. Facebook business page, Facebook personal page.
In case that employee is looking now, what do you? Kind of briefly tell them what you're looking for. What do you kind of
willing to learn? Coachable is number one. Okay, because if you're coachable, that already tells me a whole lot about your attitude.
What does coachable mean?
Coachable means that you're open to knowing that there is an alternative to what you already know. Mm-hmm. That's being coachable. If you're coachable, because you may or may not have any experience in this field. Mm-hmm. You may or may not have any experience with the duties and the tasks that I'm looking to hire for. You may or may not. All of that is irrelevant to me. Right. If you have the attitude that you're willing to learn, and you're willing to open up and say, well, the last time I did an Excel sheet, I did it this way. Mm-hmm. But you're open to hearing how I would like it done. Not that it's better, not that yours is worse, but this is just how it's done. If you're open to being coached, there's no stopping you. You got a positive attitude, you're coachable, and you're willing to put in the work, you can excel at just about anything.
Right.
Just about anything. So when I'm hiring, that's what I'm looking for. So what I'm not looking for is your bad habits. That's what I'm not looking for. And I know this is going to be coming out pretty soon here, because I'm getting, pretty close to the top of my bucket here with how much I can handle on a daily basis with just me.
Yeah.
So I know this will be coming pretty soon here, but yeah, what I'm not looking for is when I was at this bank, when I worked with this loan officer.
Sure.
you can take those previous experiences in your mind and say, okay, I do have some experience with this. This is how we're doing it with the Rocha team, and this is how we're going to move forward. Boom,
Yeah.
that's fine. But if you start fighting back, that's just not coachable. Now, if you have suggestions on how it could be better, I'm all ears, because I am not going to ask somebody to be coachable and then I myself not be coachable.
There you go.
I'm not going to do that.
Right.
That is not a good leader. That's how that workplace begins.
Right.
That's how that workplace of unappreciation
Let's unpack
begins.
that too after you're done. I want to unpack
Yeah,
a good leader.
so that's how that begins. So the leader needs to be able to be told, hey, Mark, I know we're doing it this way. I do have experience doing it this way, and it felt like it flowed better. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
If somebody came up to me and I was the employer and I looked at it and I said, no, I told you how to do it. Well, you're breeding
Closed-minded.
You're breeding that unappreciation. You're breeding that hostile work environment. But if I go and say, well, what are you talking about? Let me see. Then I look and I'm like, oh, whoa, can you do that quicker than that? Oh yeah, by about an hour and a half, I can do it quicker if I do it this way.
Right.
Show me how you do it,
Gotta
and
keep
then
that
let's
mind
go.
open. Yeah.
More time, more business.
And
Let's
a
go.
lot of that is ego
You have-
on the
100%.
business. The
Get
owners,
out of your own way.
The bosses, sometimes bosses and leaders, they have this ego, this pride to where they feel like, oh, they got all the answers and no one
Absolutely.
can tell them, which is horrible way of thinking. And I would say a lot of those businesses don't succeed eventually because you got to keep an open mind. You don't have all the answers, but you got to know how to work with people, how to bring people up and give them that motivation and inspiration and support, right? And being clear the way processes that you work, but still keeping that mind open. Like, okay, well, let's see if this could. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's see if
hold
that
on.
may work.
What do you mean by that?
Or
Let me see. Yeah,
yeah,
you
or
got
if it's
to.
something you already know hasn't, just like, you know what, we've tried that. It didn't really work with this, but we'll keep it. We'll figure out how to maybe improve on it if something or something. Like just be
very
open,
easy. Yeah,
right?
if that
It's
happens,
just
if somebody were to come with me, and I'll tell you right now, if somebody that I hired came to me with an example of what they think would work better because they have experience with it, they have no idea that I tried that in the past, I would tell them straight up, okay, I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Now, we tried this in the past, and these are the concerns and the problems that we ran into. What would be the solution for these concerns and problems?
Right.
Because we could not figure out how to get past that, so that's why we reverted back to what we're doing now.
Right.
So knowing that these concerns and problems are there and they stem from doing it that way, what kind of solutions do you have for that?
that's it.
And that person may say, okay, well, when this used to happen and those problems happened, this is what we would do. And I'd be like, that's probably why that didn't work, because that sounds like it would fix that.
Right.
Let's implement it. Let's do it.
Right.
But you have to, as the boss, as the leader, you have to have that mentality, because if you don't,
Yeah.
just do it yourself, dude. Just
Yeah.
do it. All you're gonna do is end up
You're a
hiring. You're gonna hire and fire.
You're a
Might as well
dictator.
just do it yourself.
Yeah, you got to.
Just do it yourself.
Right. And then when people have a voice and they feel they can, provide value and give, suggestions, they're going to be more invested in your company and your business, and they're going to
Absolutely.
they're going to be more excited about it and want to do better and more because they feel like they're invested some kind of way in it as well, and they have a say. You might take on one of their ideas. Now imagine how they feel. Like they're proud now. Like, wow, this is something that and always make sure you never forget who does something great. And highlight them and give them praises, because no, we're all working together.
right.
We're all no one's bigger than no one else. It's just we're all trying to reach a certain goal, and just keep an open mind.
Strengths and weaknesses.
There you go.
I'm hiring, and I'm looking for the strengths of my weaknesses. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for somebody to butt heads with,
Right.
But there may be portions there that overlap that we can both do, and they may be stronger than me.
Yeah.
There are portions of this business that I am far stronger than them, but I don't need them to do those roles. I need them to do the ones that I'm weak at. And there's a lot in my business that I'm weak. There's a lot of cracks in my business.
No, really?
3 years in, I'm barely learning that there are other ways to do this.
Okay.
3 years in, I'm learning that there are other ways to do this. So yeah, it's coming. I'm definitely, you're going to see that post, that job ad, and I'm going to feel great about it. I've been a W-2 employee my entire life. So I'm really excited about bringing that, and I'm mapping out exactly tasks and duties and compensation breakdown, and I'm getting it ready to bring on to my team.
And for you and the audience too, 3 years, guys, do never get caught up on the time in the business, right? It's all about experiences in the business, right? So 3 years to one person like yourself, you've done a lot of transactions, you've dealt with a lot. You might have more experience than someone that's been in the business 10 years or 15, right? Just because you're in the business that long doesn't mean, you know, you can have a part-time job. You might not be, you know, that person may be in a business 20 years, but they've only done several transactions. You know, there's a lot of factors, right? So I would say experiences are more important than the time,
Right.
you know, than your years in the business. So
Yeah.
just a little
Agreed.
note there.
Agreed.
Yeah, man. Oh, before I forget, guys, this shirt is here because this is, again, just in case anyone, we got our new T-shirts here, Heat Speakers, guys. Let us know what you think, if you like them. But the back is even more awesome. Romans 12:2. What does that say? And be not conformed to this world. So there you go. I love that back part. But
It's
again,
good stuff.
guys,
Good stuff. I like it.
yeah. If you guys have appeared on the show, you guys will be getting one
Oh
of
yeah,
these.
yeah. Hit us up if you've been on the show. We
And
gotta get
if you just
I guess.
like the shirt and would like us to send you one, contact us. We'll be giving away a couple as well. So first come, first serve. But, what else we got today, man? Anything else? I think we touched on.
Nailed it.
What's your? Let me see. Any plans this weekend? Hey, why not change the gears, man? Anything?
Kid's
interesting
birthday's coming up, so that'll be pretty much. We're going to Monster Jam. We got
Monster Jam.
Defy.
What day is that?
We're going to Monster Jam on Saturday.
Nice.
Then we
I've
got-
never been there. I've always wanted to go, man.
I've never been either.
No.
You know what? I
Sheesh.
almost showed up and I was talking to somebody who had been there, and he was like, "Hey, you guys are taking headphones, right?" And I was like, "For
What?
For my son?" He's like, "No, all of you. You all need them."
Is it that loud?
And I was like, "Yeah, that was my question." He was like, "It gets really loud, man."
Really?
And I was like, "Oh shoot, okay."
It's like the gun range or something.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. He was like, "Hey, I know you got some from the range." You used to, and I was like, "I do. I have my." He was like, "I would take them." I was like, "That loud? We're talking about bullets here." He was like, "Take them."
Wow, that's gonna be fun though.
I was like, "Wow, yeah, I've never been." So that'll be Saturday.
That's exciting.
But his actual birthday is Friday, so we're doing.
He's turning 6.
He's turning 6.
Ooh,
He's turning 6, and we're going to Defy.
he'll be sneaking at the house soon, man.
Oh, cut it out. Cut it out.
I'm just kidding.
I told you I got them range things. I'll be out. Where you going, boy?
Right?
Where you going, boy?
You ain't going nowhere.
You ain't
Yeah.
going nowhere, boy.
That's gonna be fun, man.
It is.
And
It definitely is.
yeah. Oh, Sunday, I'll be at the. I guess
Ooh,
our
right.
buddy Nick and a couple people. They're putting on an event at Fresno City, guys.
Previous guest on the show for the Troy Center.
Yes. Let me
He's
get the.
putting on a Pro-Am, right? Or something.
Yeah,
was it?
Pro-Am basketball game. Let's see, a professional basketball. I've got the flyer here. So yeah, back to school giveaways, guys. This Sunday, hopefully this show comes out prior to this Sunday, July 30th. And if it does, you might want to check it out. It's at Fresno City Pro-Am game. Special guest performing La Russell. If you haven't heard his music, guys, check him out. Very positive, good for the kids. Some of the language is a little, so, but the messaging, no, he has great messaging. Backpack giveaway, so bring your kids out. Fresno City, I'm bringing my son out there. You're gonna get a backpack. Support the event, fundraiser, and
Good stuff.
that's where I'll be. I'm
stay
gonna try to
cool.
get to church too Sunday as well. For sure,
absolutely.
gotta get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anything else you got going on? Any books you wanna recommend to anyone?
Really bought that book that you recommended on the last one.
Got it.
Haven't cracked it open yet.
Yeah.
but
That's a great one.
Yeah,
Anything? I'm trying to think what else.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the market update.
Market update and everything. All right, guys. I guess we're good to go. Until next week, we're gonna. Actually, we might have a guest next week. We're gonna keep it a secret. So.
Yeah, we got a couple.
yeah.
We got a couple that
Oh,
might
yeah.
pretty soon
Right.
that might be here. So
Right. So we got some great guests coming up. Stay tuned. Heat Speakers, everything. Hit us up Instagram, Facebook,
Thank you for
and
tuning in.
YouTube. Awesome.
All right, take care.
Take it. Speakers. All right. Boom and oh shit. I hate how this club crashes. I felt started getting sleepy.